IPL, Library of Classic Crime Fiction, better known as International Polygonics, and that's a mouthful. Hi, I'm Gary Lovisi, and today we're going to take a look at International Polygonics, Library of Crime Fiction, classic reprints that they did in the 1980s. They were doing these the same time that Black Lizard Books was doing their more hard-boiled crime noir books in the Black Lizard series. At the same time, IPL was publishing classic mysteries, classic crime novels, and they're outstanding books. The interesting thing about these two is they were published in the United States, and they're probably not available to most collectors worldwide, and maybe even most collectors worldwide don't know about them. They were quite a lot of books that they published, as you can see. You can see the spines. They all had the distinctive IPL logo, and they were really nicely designed books with really nice cover art. One of the cover artists was Nicky Zan, another one was Roger Roth. They published from 1977 to 1989, so a 12-year period. They published probably around 100 books. They published, Hugh Abramson was the publisher, and in way back in Paperback Parade number 6 in 2000. When was that? 1988.
I was going to say 2000.
Yeah, 1988. Yeah. So I did an interview with Hugh, and in Paperback Parade with Hugh in Paperback Parade number 6 in 1988, and he just told me about the books and how they started publishing. They started in 1969 as a puzzle company. They made puzzles and sold puzzles, and then they ended up branching out into paperbacks because they realized that there was an emptiness in the market for traditional murder mysteries. A lot of the classic murder mystery vintage paperbacks from Dell Books and Gold Medal, pocket books that were out in the 40s and 50s were suddenly out of print in the late 70s and 80s. And then there was, while Black Lizard was doing the hard-boiled crime stuff, and that was great, IPL started doing the classic murder mysteries by, and you'll recognize a lot of these books by classic authors. But they did hard-boiled also. They did hardcovers and trade paperbacks and paperback size, or what you call rack size paperbacks that are, the regular size. But they weren't a paperback publisher per se. They were a trade paperback publisher, not using the distribution of the regular paperbacks. And so we're going to take a look at some of the books now, or all of the books now. Again, I'm just going to move these around, and then I'm going to show you when they started off, and we'll go through them kind of quick. The first book that they did in 1977 was The Man in the Corner by Baroness Orsky. That's the first book, International Polygonics. The second book they did was Murder from the East by John Carroll Daly. It's a Race Williams book. In my article in Paperback Parade number 6 and the interview that I did with Hugh, he talks about all of these books and talks about how they started publishing. They did one with a matte back, kind of like to herald the Dell matte backs. They did a large trade paperback of Hammett's Secret Agent X9, which I don't have here. I'm not going to show you that. But there's a lot of books that they did do, and so they did Murder from the East, and they did it in 2 sizes. Originally they wanted to do them this size, but they found out because they wanted to showcase their books as being different from regular rack-size paperbacks. But they found out that the larger size was kind of very ungainly, and it just didn't work, so they went back to the regular size paperbacks. And these are the same books, the first and first printing. It's just a little different size. Actually, what they did was took this book and they cut it. So those are the first two International Polygonics books, and these are the same identical number and everything else. And now we're going to go through some of the other ones. The Murder of My Aunt by Richard Hull. I'm going to go kind of quick. William F. Nolan, science fiction writer, wrote, he also likes hard-boiled crime, and he wrote a kind of a homage to Sam Spade and Marlowe and all the hard-boiled crime in the science fiction genre. And as the first one was Space for Hire by William F. Nolan. That was originally a Lancer book, which they reprinted, and then they got Bill Nolan to write another one, sequel to it, and that was original for IPL, Look Out for Space. And interestingly enough, years later, because I like these books so much, they're just fun. They're parodies of hard-boiled crime and science fiction, and it kind of really works really good. It's, you know, light reading and it's great stuff. And I would end up publishing the third book in the series as a Gryphon book, science fiction in the library. So that's William F. Nolan's. Then we call it Paul Gallagher, The Abandoned. Richard E. Johnson, Silver Street. They published, you know, like Richard E. Johnson, they published also newer authors, and then the classic authors, the Peacock Feather Murders, the Sir Henry Merivale Locked Room Mystery by Carter Dixon, John Dixon Carr. And there's just some of the back, show you the back covers. And they always use, that's the IPL logo, Library of Crime Classics. Really great series of books, and you can see the pages, the white pages, even though these books are 25, 30 years old. They were printed on quality white paper, and very nice. Next book is He Wouldn't Kill Patients by Carter Dixon, again with the Nicky Zan cover, and you can see his name right here. Very good cover artist. And I actually had Hugh Abramson and Nicky Zan as guests at my paperback show early in, I guess it was like 1989 or 1990. The Punch and Judy Murders by Carter Dixon, again with the Nicky Zan cover. All the classic authors. The Burning Court, classic mystery by John Dixon Carr. The Sleeping Sphinx, a Gideon Fell mystery, John Dixon Carr. The illustrations by Ken George Ray. Almost looks like a photo, but it's not. Back to Nicky Zan, some great stuff. George Baxt, Swing Low, Sweet Harriet, The Return of Pharaoh Love. That's Nicky Zan cover. He's incredible. Another Topsy and Evil by George Baxt. Nicky Zan cover again. A lot of great George Baxt books here. I Said the Demon, a Max Van Larson, Sylvia Plotkin mystery by George Baxt. Nicky Zan cover. Satan is a Woman by George Baxt. Another Nicky Zan cover. And the back covers, there are some that have matte backs, and I'm trying to see which one. No Coffin for the Corpse by Clayton Rawson, classic mystery featuring the great Merlini, magician, and Nicky Zan cover again. E. Richard Johnson, Caseload Maximum. So this is probably one of the latest books, around 1990 or so, 89, 90. So they did publish E. Richard Johnson and other newer writers. Some of these are kind of tough to find. This is another one, E. Richard Johnson, The Judas, from 1990. These are probably from just about the end of the run. Mongo's Back in Town, E. Richard Johnson. He had a very popular hero, Mongo. Cage 5 is Going to Break, E. Richard Johnson. Nine and Death Makes 10, Sir Henry Merivale, Golden Age Classic by Carter Dixon. John Dixon Carr. The White Priory Murders by Carter Dixon, another Merivale mystery with a Nicky Zan cover. The Unicorn Murders, another Merivale mystery, Carter Dixon, Nicky Zan cover. And the Red Widow Murders by Carter Dixon, another Merivale locked room mystery, and of course that's John Dixon Carr, Carter Dixon, and it's a Nicky Zan cover. So I'm going to move these up a little bit, and we're going to look at some more. I think a lot of you probably haven't seen these books before, and the Plague Court Murders by Sir Henry Merivale novel by Carter Dixon, Nicky Zan cover. Death in 5 Boxes by Carter Dixon, a Merivale novel, and again Nicky Zan cover. Max Brand, The Night Flower. Max Brand, King of the Pulps. This has an introduction by William F. Nolan. This is a book from the 30s that was reprinted, and it has a Nicky Zan cover. So I'm saying, like, showing you these, I think is pretty cool, because I know that a lot of the subscribers to this channel, some of you are not located in the United States, so you may not have known about these books, may never have seen them. And even if you did know about IPL, that they published these classic mysteries, and you're a fan or a reader of classic mysteries, you may have not seen all of these, because they're all kind of not that common these days. And they're very nice. They're very beautiful books. A Private Disgrace, Lizzie Borden by Daylight, and it's a study of the murder by Victoria Lincoln. And I assume this is a true crime about the Lizzie Borden murder case. They did a lot of interesting things. They did The Return of Dr. Samuel Johnson, Detector by Lillian De La Torre, which was this is a Dr. Sam collection of stories. He was a detective during the Revolutionary War period, the colonial period. Dr. Sam Johnson, The Detectives of Dr. Sam Johnson. Another one, this is The Detections, and it's by Lillian De La Torre. Another Dr. Sam Johnson, The Exploits of Dr. Sam Johnson. This is the first book publication, and it's 7 stories in the series. So these are kind of a colonial or revolutionary era detective Sherlock Holmes of that time. Very cool stories. The Judas Window, a Merivale mystery by Carter Dixon, by Nicky Zan cover art. One of the only ones that they actually have in, I think that where they use a photo cover, is Solomon's Vineyard by Jonathan Latimer. If you like hard-boiled, hard crime, you got to read this if you have not read this. It also was published in a nice pan edition with a PEF cover. But this IPL edition is the only one, I believe, that they used photo covers on this. But it's an amazing hard-boiled crime noir novel that you have to read if you have never read it. Of all the Jonathan Latimers, this is his classic. All of his stuff is good. It's really, really good. But this one is the best. You got to read it. The Reader is Warned, another Merivale Golden Age classic by Carter Dixon with a Nicky Zan cover. The Gilded Man, Merivale classic by Carter Dixon, Nicky Zan cover. And then there's The Saint. They reprinted some of the Saint books, and this is from 1990, The Saint Getaway by Leslie Charteris, and this is a Roger Roth cover. The Saint in New York by Leslie Charteris. This is also a Roger Roth cover. This reprints the old vintage Avon. Okay, so there was The Lady in the Morgue by Jonathan Latimer. Was the other another book in the series where they used photo covers, and that was The Lady in the Morgue by Jonathan Latimer. So there's these two, Solomon's Vineyard and The Lady in the Morgue, that were where they used photos on the covers, which is pretty uncommon for them. A Bullet in the Ballet is a ballet mystery. Carl Brams and S.J. Simon. The Rim of the Pit by Hake Talbot is a classic hard crime novel. Nicky Zan cover. Another classic is Rocket to the Morgue by Anthony Boucher. Sister Ursula Solves Another Locked Room classic. I believe this is at a science fiction convention. Nicky Zan cover. 9x9, Anthony Boucher, a Sister Ursula mystery, and again, Nicky Zan cover. The Talking Sparrow Murders by Darwin L. Talheit is a classic set in, I believe it's 1930s Nazi Germany crime novel. Great classic. Now, should I move these up, or should I?
However you're going to get them out of the way,
you have room? I'll move them up. And we'll start another stack. I'll move these out of the way here. Okay? Okay. The Affair at Royalties by George Baxt. He was the author of the Tallulah Bankhead murder case, which they probably reprinted. Again, with the Nicky Zan cover. Another Saint, Knight Templar by Leslie Charteris, Roger Roth cover. Cork of the Colonies by S.S. Rafferty, another American, early American detective during the colonial era. Roger Roth cover. Really cool cover. Murder on Wheels, Hildegard Winter's Mystery by Stuart Palmer, and it's Nicky Zan cover. What a great cover art. Look at that, the grinning skull. She's, that's great. The God Keepers by Richard E. Johnson. John Tierney did that cover. Pretty incredible. They also did a lot of covers by a lot of books by Margaret Millar and other classic mystery writers. This one, Spiderwebs. They did The House at Satan's Elbow, a Gideon Fell mystery by John Dixon Carr, and classic murder mystery. He Who Whispers, Gideon Fell novel by John Dixon Carr, Roger Roth cover art. The Three Coffins, a Gideon Fell mystery by John Dixon Carr, another Roger Roth cover. Below Suspicion, a Gideon Fell mystery by John Dixon Carr. We're getting near the end. The Tallulah Bankhead murder case, which I mentioned earlier, and by George Baxt and Nicky Zan cover. Death from a Top Hat. This is the first great Merlini novel, a classic locked room magician murder mystery by Clayton Rawson. And The Headless Lady by Clayton Rawson with a Nicky Zan cover. And this one, this is an interesting one because they did a map on the back of the murder scene, kind of like in the style of the old Dell map backs. So they did this one here, and it's kind of nice, special. Nicky Zan did the cover. The Saint, Angels of Doom by Leslie Charteris, Roger Roth cover art. Margaret Millar, Banshee, and this is again Roger Roth cover. Lady Molly of Scotland Yard, Baroness Orsky. This is an early 1981 IPL. They started off the series with the Baroness Orsky novel, and this is one that they did later. And then The Murder of My Aunt by Richard Hull, which this might be a dupe because I think I already showed you this one. But that's a look at the paperback or rack size paperbacks that were published by International Polygonics by Hugh Abramson, his publishing company that lasted about 12 years, and published some great new original books and a lot of classic reprints that are just terrific. They published trade paperbacks, some Jonathan Latimer, other Jonathan Latimer books in trade paperback, and also in hardcovers, which I may have around, but I don't know. I couldn't find them, and there's so many books I didn't want to just kind of show everything. At some future point, if people want to see them, I'll see if I can find them and show you the hardcovers and the trade paperbacks. But these are the rack-sized books. They published about 90 or so of them, and great cover art, quality paper. These books don't age. They're a little heavy too. When you pick up a pile of them, they're not like the regular paperbacks because the paper was really good. And these were meant to last and to be enjoyed. And it's classic mystery, locked room mysteries and murder mysteries. So I hope you like this look at this unique series. A lot of people don't know the series and maybe never seen these books before. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up, a like, and share it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.